Hi guys, welcome to my movie fan channel. My name's Tyler. Today's review is going to be for 90 Day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days. This is the one with Big Ed and Rose, Baby Love Lisa and Usman, and all the other freaks from the show. I had never watched any of these other crazy TLC shows, like hardly at all. I think my mom used to watch John K Plus 8. I didn't know there was like 100 spin-offs of this 90 Day Fiancé show. The premise is these people go date online, they meet somebody from somewhere else, and they want to get a visa to be a U.S. citizen. They have to wait 90 days to do so. These people have to have a marriage. It's got to be, it can't be a girlfriend, it can't be whatever. They have to like commit to get married or be married, like have to have a ring. So these people are buying rings, going over to these other countries, ready to marry these people. I guess we'll start with Big Ed and Rose. So I'm going to put their picture up right here of who I'm talking about, so you can just get the gist of this guy, and you'll want to see this dude when I'm talking about him, because he is a character for sure. I am like obsessed with this guy. So Big Ed, he can't put his arms down. He's like this, and he's like Batman, where he can't move his neck, but when he turns, he's like, somebody will say something to him, and he's like 4 feet tall too. The guy is this big. You could hold him in the palm of your hand. He's really short. I think he said he's like 4'11", but I don't know, he might be smaller than that. He's a little guy, and I guess he's got some kind of condition that he was born with, like his vertebrae like fused, so he's got like a big midsection and a little spine, but he like can't put his arms down. He's got the little neck. He's really weird, and he doesn't help himself with how he looks. He can't control how he looks, but he can control his beard, and his beard is like shaven like so close, it's above his jawline, so he's like this, and you can see his double chin, and like the fat is shaven. Like somebody should help him out with it. And then his hair, he's got like a ponytail that's like a little, he looks like a rooster. You gotta cut that hair. And he's like, no, I won't. He doesn't do it. And then he wears these big baggy shorts that like make his legs look even smaller. And I'm like, man, dude, if you just wore tailored down slim pants, it would help you look a little bit taller. Not that, hey, you're 4'11", you're gonna be 4'11", but you know, you're just not doing any favors to yourself when you wear these big pants and your legs look even small. Big Ed meets Rose, and Rose is from the Philippines. They meet online. Big Ed is like 52 or 4, and Rose is 23 years old. Rose has a kid, but Big Ed's daughter is like 30 something. So this girl's younger than his daughter. He's like sending her gifts, sending her like $2,000 worth of stuff, right? He goes over to the Philippines. He's like taking a shower with her dad. There's like a rat running through the shower. He's all like, oh, and he's got to like sleep on the floor. There's a hole in the roof. It's like raining through the roof. And he's like, I got a skin condition. I can only have 1,000 ply thread count sheets, bed sheets on my bed. And he's getting all like, oh, I need aircon. And he's in like the jungle in Manila, and he's like sweating his ass off, and all these people are like looking at him like, what the hell? So he's taking her shopping, like buy her whatever she wants. She's like pulling money out of his wallet for him, like giving it to the people. He don't know how much stuff's costing. She's tipping the people. He's like, oh man, she's just taking from his wallet. Before he even got there, the sister was asking him for money, her sister, to like help with her business. She had a little shack that she was selling flip-flops out of. The guy is like hanging out with her, and he doesn't take an STD test, but he asks her for one because supposedly she won't tell him about her previous relationships, just because she was like brokenhearted about her husband breaking up, whatever. I guess she likes women now. They like say in the end, and he like didn't know. So then they're together, and he's like, oh, I noticed your legs were hairy like mine. I want you to shave your legs. And she's like, she did that. She made a lot of noises. She was kind of funny, but her facial reactions are like, she's like, okay, if you shave your beard, I'll shave my legs. So she caves in and does it. Then she like doesn't understand the concept of the STD test, and he's got to like explain it like a moron. And I'm like, dude, if you would have just took it, it would have been like less a jerky thing. Doesn't do it. So that's crazy. The legs, dude, he's like, I want to look younger for her, so I started dyeing my hair when I met her. It irritates my scalp, so I put mayonnaise in my hair. The dude scoops out a jar of mayonnaise. First of all, he's wearing like a kimono from Japan, but the dude glops big thing of mayonnaise into his hair. He like puts like a trash bag, like an old lady when it rains, over his head, walking in the other room, and he's got mayonnaise in his hair. I'm like, oh my god, guy is just ridiculous. There's another group of people that are married. This lady is from the US, and she's going over to Nigeria where she met a guy in line. So immediately, I'm sure for you too, red flags are going. There's got to be, some kind of scam involved, because Nigeria, they're all scammers. He's not a scammer. He's a rapper, and he's got like 52,000 followers or whatever at the start of this. His name's Usman, and Lisa is the one coming from the US. So she's older too, and he's in his 20s, and he just wants to be a rapper, so he wants to come to the US to be famous. But But she's like, he loves me, whatever. And he writes this song for her, and the song's awesome. I'll be there for you. And he calls her baby love. I love my baby love. Comes there and she's super controlling. You can't hang out with your friends. Brings his weird friends, pick her up. 3 dudes in a car. I'm in a foreign land, dude. I don't want to get in a car with these guys I don't know. Ragging on him in front of his brother. In their culture, disrespectful, to be disrespectful is really bad. Wives are supposed to be like almost subservient to their husbands, and whether that's right or not, she is not really treading lightly in this situation. And then it's up to the mother to get like a blessing. And Usman's mother does not want a part of this shit. She's like, who is this fat white lady? We're like respectful Muslim people and we're doing our thing, and we expect you to at least try to understand and try to follow along with that, and at least not want to be a part of it, whatever. And she's like, you're gonna marry me, you're doing this, you said whatever, you said when I got here you're gonna propose me. She just doesn't want to have friends, whatever. It's really toxic, and I hate that word, but I said toxic because that's pretty much what this is. Now we're gonna talk about David and Lana. David's paying for the service online for like 7 years where it translates for her from the Ukraine. He's never met her in person. They've never FaceTimed. She doesn't even speak English. And the dude has sent her gifts like Big Ed sent Rose gifts. And then he went there numerous times and she never showed up. So the camera's like following around, and his friends like, oh, I don't think you should go. I think it's a scam. I don't think she's real. His friends are Ukrainian shit too. They're like, they do that. They scam, and she's just trying to get money out of you. I'm sure she's talking to other dudes. So he goes there and he's waiting around at the train station, and he's, oh, I'm wearing a purple polo shirt, and he's like typing on his computer, and he goes to coffee shops to get internet, and he's like, oh, Lana hasn't been on in 10 minutes. And he's like obsessed with it. We don't think she's real. I turned to my friend Joylyn, who I watched the show with, and I said, I bet anything this girl is not real. She's a catfish. He's gonna get there, it's gonna be like a dude answering the door. She doesn't show up. And he's like, oh my god, what the hell? I think he goes home. I think he comes there again. Maybe not. Maybe he's there on the same trip. But he's like, oh, why don't you meet up with me? Whatever. She's like, oh, I'm going to my nephew's hockey game. I said, she's not real. There's no way. These excuses are stupid. He hires a detective, and the detective's like, dude, she's fake. There's other pictures of her on other sites. She's talking to other dudes. She's got other accounts on these sites. She's not real. And he's like, you're fired. And he fired the guy. He was like so pissed and fired the guy. He's like, I know she's real. I know Lana, whatever. And you're like, man, the power of delusion that people have. She ends up being real. I was like, oh my god, I could not believe it. She shows up one day, and I was like, she's there. And this guy, he like wears like trench coats and shit. I'm like, how is this pretty Ukrainian girl now afraid? This guy looks like the Punisher at 80 years old if he worked like an office job. But she shows up, and I'm like, she recognizes him, because all his profile pictures are like him in his 20s, like in front of somebody else's Lamborghini, and like nice houses that are like gated off that clearly aren't his. And now he's in his 50s or probably pushing 60, I think. And she just walks up and she's like, oh, uncomfortable. And he keeps going, he's like sniffing her. He's like, creepy, dude. So she's like kind of weirded out. He keeps wanting to hug her, and she doesn't speak English, so she's like, no, that's okay. They go bowling. He's like, oh, can I kiss you? And she's like, no, that's all right. The only English word she could say is no. She's like, no. Let's talk about who couldn't be on the last episodes because now there's some alleged domestic abuse things I guess he got arrested for. And in his past, he'd been arrested before for like drug related. He goes to the Ukraine to meet his chick. He's lying about the conviction thing, about whatever, and he wants to get married. He's all eager. She's like, Jeffrey, I love you, Jeffrey. And he's like, well, let's get married then. And she's like, well, it's way too fast, dude. Why don't we just like hang out and talk, and it was cool getting to know you, and maybe you can come back, or maybe I'll come to you. She wants to live in a big city too. He's from like Tennessee, so she's not feeling it. She's like, I want to live in New York, and she doesn't want to get married. But then the guy comes home and he's hooking up with his old friend that he used to kind of date, and then his girlfriend is like, I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna just surprise him at his door. She gets there and the like chick is there, and they're like, oh, what the hell? And the girlfriend leaves. She's there and she's like, oh, I thought I surprised you, Jeffrey, I love you. And he's like, I haven't talked to you in forever, what did you think was gonna happen? And the camera probably cuts, and he probably was like, man, gosh. Hopefully not. That's kind of crazy. I mean, if all this shit is true, it's a good thing he's locked up again. They were just so awkward and weird, and he's like really good looking. I was like, why can't this guy get a date from like an American girl here? Ripped looking dude. He had weird like nipple tattoos, which was kind of strange. I don't know where they find these people. Now I understand if all that shit is true that he was like abusive. So that'll do it. There's some other people, Avery and that friggin' buggy-eyed weird dude. He was like, his eyes would follow you around like this and he'd be staring right at you. He was weird. We like skipped over their storyline. The whole situation was, at what point do you just say, okay, they only want to come to the US, I'm spending all this money, it's probably not worth it, why don't I just meet somebody here? They're all kind of desperate individuals with deformities or stupid ass tattoos or God knows what personality disorders. So if you like a cast of misfits, stupid drama with pettiness and just weirdness, this show is definitely for you, at least this season. I haven't seen the other seasons, but this one, the cast of characters was just so ridiculous. I definitely say you should check it out. I had a lot of fun watching it. I'm obsessed with Big Ed. The guy is like something else. He should have his own show or something. He really is a dickhead. It's entertaining to watch regardless. That's my review for 90 Day Fiancé before the 90 days, guys. I don't do a lot of TV that drama or TLC shows. This one was really cool. I had a lot of fun watching this. These people are train wrecks. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you next week with my MCU review for Iron Man 2 and Ace Ventura on Wednesday, and then I'll announce the new releases for the week. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.